All right. Well, welcome to the Spartan Canada podcast. Once again, I'm Jill, and the guest today, our reoccurring guest, is Nick from Spartan. And take it away, Nick. So excited to have you.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Excited to talk a little bit more about Ottawa this today. This weekend's gonna be great. We have a lot of distances. Unfortunately, we don't have a beast here. It'd be so cool to have one, but I know a lot of people have been requesting that, especially for this race in Toronto. But we do have a sprint, a super, a kids race, and then a trail run. So it's our only trail run series in Canada. So we have a 10K and we have a 21K. So both of those distances it should be pretty fun.
Yeah. So, how is the build going? Do you feel ready? This is the third race of the season, and so it's down pat by now, right? Or fourth race, sorry.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Our team's doing great on the ground right now. We actually had a bit of a hiccup with our trailers because our trailers came straight from Red Deer over to Ottawa. So we had a bit of a hiccup there, but the guys on the ground there are uh, taking it back up and they're just crushing through it basically. So the build's going well. The mountain's looking a bit dry, but I think that might be to some people's advantages. I think maybe the grass didn't grow as much, so hopefully it's not cutting everyone's legs up as much as it has in the past years.
Yeah, because we've had an abnormally dry and hot summer at least in Ontario. So we were just talking before this about it had finally rained for maybe the first or second time all summer. So that could have a bit of an impact. But and in my terms, it means there was less mosquitoes all summer for me. So where I live. So
Yeah, that's great, and it's better than having torrential downpours and big storms on the operational side. You know, a couple years ago, I remember we had to. There's no power in the whole of Calibogue. We had to go and cut down trees and stuff like that to make the course happen. It was quite the challenge. So I'm actually happy with this.
Yeah, and there's some new features that I've checked the map out, of course. Everyone's excited about that. But I want to skip back to Red Deer. You mentioned Red Deer because we just had Red Deer, and that was only 2 weeks ago. So tell me a little bit about Red Deer.
Red Deer was a resounding success. Honestly, we changed up the course a little bit. I don't know. Have you ever done the Red Deer event?
No, I have not. It is a bucket
No.
list, but because of my work doesn't really allow, well, if I got a red eye flight on a Friday, I might be able to. I run a summer camp, so it's very hard to leave on Friday to fly anywhere, but cross my fingers one day that it'll
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, well, we're hopeful for that. But so on the course, usually, typically at the end of the course, there's a series. I think it's like 150 steps. I'm sure some of you have counted. If you've done Red Deer, you've counted the steps at the end, the big staircase that we have. I think it's around 150 steps. And usually, I try to torture a little bit of people and put it right at the end.
I love that.
But yeah, and so our event director this year changed the map up a little bit, and so we hit the stairs early on in the course, so people still had a lot of juice right after the steps to keep on that gas pedal all the way through. So I think people really enjoyed that. We changed the course a little bit, and yeah, it was a good event. A lot of people coming. The weather was collaborative because especially at this time of year in Red Deer, it can be hit or miss, right? So on the build week right before that, we had thunderstorms, lightning, we had hail and everything, and obviously, those aren't good for the event weekends, but we got real
No.
lucky there, so that was great. So yeah, so no, Red Deer was great. It was a fun one, and we had a hurricane heat there, and we have a hurricane heat in Ottawa as well.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I was just talking to somebody with a ruck company about the hurricane heats. So that'll be an interesting event. The hurricane heat is basically you have 4 hours, and there's a cryptea who is the leader, and you just anything goes, and you don't ask questions, you just do it. And if you like torture and punishment, it's the perfect place for you to be. This one starts at is the start time 10 p.m.?
So on this one, so we actually have two hurricane heats here, different lengths, I guess you could call them. So we have a 4 hour hurricane heat, and we also have the 12 hour hurricane heat. It's the only one in Canada this year. So 12 hours of just team building, hard challenges, and difficult times. That sounds fun. Definitely going to build your character up. So that one actually starts at midnight, which is kind of
Oh,
crazy, but
hmm.
I think people are going to really enjoy that. and then the 4 hour hurricane heat starts at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah. So I'm always wanting to do that one, but I want to cram everything into every weekend. So I'm always kind of on the fence with that one. One day I'll do that. I have done some 12-hour events with Tough Mudder at night, and it is the most fun event ever. The overnight stuff is so fun. I like sleep too, so it's not like I would rather be in bed, but that atmosphere is great. So I know some people who did the 12-hour last year, and it was amazing, and they rave about it. So if you're on the fence about that one, do that. And I'm pretty easy to convince. So if you see me and just push me a little, I might do it too. But there's so many fun obstacle events that weekend too. I'm also considering the trail as well, because last year I was able to do the trail and then also competitive 5K, but this year I would have to pick one or the other. Although I could do the 5K
Mm.
Saturday. There's so many options, Nick.
So many options. Yeah, the trail is great. I think this is a really good location for it. I think in the past we've had it co-located at events where it used a lot of the same runs, the ski runs and stuff like that. So it's less of a trail event. But this one, it's purely in the trails in the back of Calabogie, really off, pretty much off the grid. All the way back, and both distances are really shaping up to be a fun time. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting to know. So has the route changed mostly, or just because last year there was a lot in the trails as well?
Yes, same route as last year. I think last year that was the first race we did the half marathon, the 21K. So we're bringing it back this year. Just it was a resounding success as well. So the 10K has not changed since the original year. But I think that loop people really enjoy it. There's some good hiking, some good technical terrain, some nice trails back there, downhill running and everything. So it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and as a trail runner myself, I do appreciate doing the same race year after year. I do like the change, but it is kind of fun to actually know what's coming next. I appreciate that, and it helps kind of gauge what you're going to do next. So, especially in a 10K, that's a very good idea. I've done both of them now, so but it's very tempting now that might have just helped me make my decision, knowing that the 21 is different. And the great thing about Spartan Race this weekend is that there's a 10K and a 5K on Saturday, and then a 5K and both trail races. So I really don't have to miss out on anything.
Exactly, exactly. And you're right. It's nice to have the same trail every year because you can measure, your progress, your fitness levels, your different like if you have your watch with you, you can look at the different segments, right? If you know that there's a big uphill ahead, you can look at the same segment and kind of analyze your data a little bit to help your training, but also to help your time and everything. So it's a fun one for sure.
Yeah, that's great. And it's really beautiful back there on the other side as well. So there's some great scenic places for pictures and stuff like that if you're that type of trail racer. Because most trail
If you're not too
racers,
concentrated on just running, right?
yeah, and most trail racers are, unless you're going for like a podium spot, we're out there eating snacks, we're taking pictures, we're having a great day, we're just enjoying the pain and meeting new people. That's really what trail racing is about, I think, for most people. So.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That
fun
is super
times.
exciting. Okay, so there are a couple things, questionable items on the map this year. And you know what I'm talking about. Number one,
Precisely.
could you tell me what Burpee Island is?
Burpee Island is a great resort. Okay, we're gonna have we're gonna have lawn chairs. We're gonna have a bar service. It's gonna be great. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, this sounds
Um,
awesome. I bet Joe picked that one. That was his idea,
yeah,
wasn't it? To just lay around.
yeah. No, the Burpee Island is a bit more taxing than It's not a nice tropical island. It's the If you guys have done the Ottawa race before, I'm sure you guys have done the swim, and I think it's a fan favorite. Usually we swim to the island and then we walk back on the bridge. But this time, what we're going to do is swim to the island, do 30 burpees on the island, and there'll be a volunteer there making sure that the burpees are done correctly. And then the super runners are going to swim back, and then the sprint runners are going to walk back on the bridge. So a bit easier on the sprint runners, a bit harder on the supers, and then straight into the dunk wall. So it's gonna be pretty fun, that one.
Oh, did you say swimming to the next part too, or just the
You're gonna swim. You're just gonna swim instead of doing one length of the swim and then walking back on the bridge. You're gonna be swimming there doing 30 burpees, and then swimming back.
Oh, I like this. This is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it is
last year
fun.
it
Yeah.
was so hot. It was brutal, brutal, brutal hot, and everyone was excited to get into that water.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as brutally hot. Let me take a look and make sure that the weather report has not changed. But it looks like 22 degrees and or sorry, 27 and 26. So still pretty hot, but not
That's
as
hot.
scorching as last. Last year was crazy. Too
Last
much.
year, yeah, normally I'm not affected too much by the heat, but when it gets to a certain level, if you are heat tolerant, you are going to win.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
water,
those sauna sessions and those hard
oh,
runs in the heat are definitely going to help you. But here, it'll be measured heat.
yes, that's pretty good too, especially because it will be early in the morning. But I mean, knowing this year, it's just been relentless temperatures in Ontario. So who knows it will turn out for the day. We will all be excited to get into that water. Just don't drink it.
No, I wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah. Okay, that's number one. So number two, there was a cl was it cliff climb or there was something like that, or
Cliff
somebody
climb.
mentioned, or maybe I am reading something else. Or
Oh yeah, number 16. I
yeah,
think they snuck
like
an
what
obstacle
is
by me.
what is
My team
that?
snuck an obstacle by me. Let me we'll see. Oh yes. Okay. So what we did. So usually we do the golf loop. I'm gonna call it the golf loops, where we run around the whole golf course and then we hit
Yes.
the water and then we dunk wall on the beach and we come back. We've always hit it on one side of the golf, basically going um, on the road across the road to the right, getting to the island and then the beach, and then going all the way around where the tall bushes are, and then there's a steep decline usually. Well, we reversed the course this year on that part, so we're going to go over the A-frame and then kind of reverse that loop basically. So on the one side up, it's a bit steep on that side, so we decided to put a cliff climb there. So it's not a full cliff climb. I don't know if you've seen like the World's Toughest Mother in UK. They had a vertical, climb up a cargo net. It's not going to
Oh,
be
yes.
exactly like that, but it's going to be there for athletes to help them out get up that steep hill.
Okay, that's kind of fun. Some new
Yeah,
features.
yeah,
And
exactly.
it wouldn't shock me if they did try to sneak in another obstacle in there on us. That would be a
Who
Spartan thing
knows?
to do.
That'd be
That
fun.
is,
That'd be fun. I wish, you know what? We should do that. I agree with
yeah,
you.
like a
That sounds fun.
surprise kind of thing. Maybe on some major
Yeah.
anniversary of Spartan, you can do surprise obstacles.
That would be so cool. I mean, yeah, I feel like maybe we should do a thing for like our 15th anniversary or something like that. That'd be fun in Canada
Yeah.
to do a couple of surprise obstacles. But you know what? I think it's fun. It was fun a little bit sometimes, maybe less for the sport, but more for the adventure of it.
Hmm.
We didn't used to even release maps, so people would just show up
Yes.
and just
Hmm.
have to do the obstacle race the way the race director intended it to. So without being prepared. So I kind of like those times a little bit. So
And
yeah, you
I'm
can
on
do it for
board for that.
yourself. I mean,
I like
yeah,
that as
exactly.
well.
Yeah,
Because I'm actually not great at, I'll look at a map and I'm probably not going to pay attention to much of it, and then it'll stress me out. So I'd rather just sometimes it's better to just go for it and see what happens.
yeah, yeah. Not
So
look it up.
maybe
Not have the temptation to look it up is another one. Is that must be tough.
no, I've met racers who would write on their arm when the net, like how many climbs there are and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, that's amazing that
Wow.
you're doing that. I think that's awesome for you. Actually, that was Faye Stenning from original Spartan. So she used to write it
Wow.
on her arm uh, so that she could tell what was going to come next. And I was like, I love that for you, but I don't think I could do that only because I would that's a lot of extra work for me. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, she was a top three podium placer. And I think at one point, maybe even still, she had the most podium places in Spartan ever. So, maybe
Right.
it is something that we should all adopt.
And she did her homework. You can't say she didn't.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
Well,
awesome. I love that.
that's fantastic. One other great, amazing thing that I saw this week, there was a lot of stuff going on for Spartan Race Canada this week, in the last 2 weeks. But it was the announcement of a new venue. So I would love to hear all about that.
So many new things coming. It's actually exciting. Yeah, so we've released the schedule for next year, most of it. there might be another surprise, but who knows? We're working on it.
I like
So
it.
the London Spartan race. So it's gonna. So usually we have a 2 day event at Tough Mudder at Gopher Dunes.
Hmm.
We're gonna switch it back to 1 day. 1 day, just a Saturday for the Tough Mudder. Then the Sunday is gonna be our first Spartan race at that venue. So flat course, fast course. I know a lot of people love Red Deer just because it's a flat course. It can just go all out.
Hmm.
Most of us, we train on flat terrain. We don't. Not everyone has access to the hills, so sometimes it's hard to train for that. So I think a lot of people enjoy that one. It's on. It's just on the Sunday, so hopefully everyone can make it out. But yeah, the flat, fast terrain is going to be really fun for a lot of people.
That is amazing to hear. Maybe the Tough Mudder people can try both races if they want to do a full race weekend. I mean,
Absolutely.
knowing that, I will definitely do both races because I also like Tough Mudder as well. And it
That'll
does
be a
make
good time. That
sense.
sounds fun.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense for you guys because it's the same trucks and the same, the same people are building, and so that's great. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of work though for you guys.
Yes. Saturday night for us going to be a busy night, tearing everything, all the branding down, changing the obstacles, changing the route and everything. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a fun time for us, but we're driven by the results the next day, so we're going to be happy to see those on the Sunday.
That's amazing. So fast, flat course, completely different training style. That means there will be twice, two of those in Canada. We mostly have the ski resort courses. So this sounds
Right.
amazing. I love that two Tough Mudder and Spartan are going to be on the same weekend. That makes it nice for people who have to travel, who want to try out both. And if you're asking me, I'd say do both.
Absolutely, and it's a fun mix there because it's not just it's a motocross course. So a lot of the motocross courses we go to, it's purely just on the motocross track. It's very muddy, it's all sandy and everything like that. But this one also has back trails, right? So we use a majority of that to fill in our bigger distances, the 15K on the TM side, but the 10K, the super on the Spartan side is going to be really interesting as well because it's going to be a mix of open air, almost a field, and then you're going straight into a trail, smaller trails, wider trails. It's going to be pretty fun.
That's amazing. Well, if you ever do an infinity loop too with Tough Mudder, that would be if I get to put any input in, an infinity loop would be awesome for that event as well. Which is
It
the
would be. It
where you
would
have
be.
8 hours to do as many laps as possible. But I guess you could just do that by just racing all day long.
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah, we can look into that for 2027. I think that'd be a fun addition to the Tough Mudder portfolio for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there are no endurance Tough Mudder races in Canada, so if
Not
you're
yet.
asking one person, me. Although I think I could find friends to
Absolutely.
say the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And then we have another announcement. I don't know if you heard yesterday. Did you hear about the announcement yesterday, Jill?
I may or maybe not.
Oh, I'm catching you by surprise. That's awesome.
Uh-oh. Yeah, and I'm usually on the ball with that, so.
So I know, I know. Well, yeah. So yesterday we just announced for Western Canada Spartans. Obviously, they've been asking for a beast for a long time. We unfortunately had to retreat out of Kelowna. I think we've talked about this on previous
Mhm.
podcasts. But we have added a beast to the Red Deer course. So that
Yay.
one's going to be fun as well. So we're using all of Heritage Ranch, right? We couldn't fit a beast just at Heritage Ranch, so we worked with Tourism Red Deer to find some extra space to do that. And so we did a little bit of a tour of the city and everything. And they have a lot of linear parks around the Red Deer River, so we're going to use a lot of that. It's going to be pretty much all over town. So 21K in Red Deer is announced as of yesterday. So registration is open for that one.
Yeah, I missed that one. I'm surprised. But that is really,
it was
that's
it was a
great
quick
news.
one. I think it was yesterday afternoon. So I'll give you a bit of leeway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even have 24 hours, but I'm usually like right on
I
in.
know.
All right, I'll give myself a break. But that is
Yes,
fantastic news.
please,
I
please.
know, especially out there, they want the distance, and it sounds like you guys have been listening to what everybody has been asking for, and not everything we ask for can works, but sometimes you figure it out. And I know that logistically it's a whole different race, and sounds like the working with the parks in Alberta will be really interesting for people. So That's
Yeah, it'll be a fun
exciting.
time.
I may have to take that red-eye
Yeah.
flight then on the Friday night.
You just might, because you like the long distances, right? You've done a
I
bunch of
do.
ultras and everything like
Hmm.
that. So that's your thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like those. Though I might not be the fastest, but I can outlast.
There you go. That's all you need.
Well, that's so exciting. Very excited for the weekend. I can't wait to have a great weekend. It looks like the weather should be amazing, especially if it's anywhere under 30 degrees. And we will look forward to all the exciting changes for the weekend. And now I have to go make my decision as to which races I'm going to join.
Tough decision. Tough decision to make for sure.
All right. Looking forward to it, and I will see you on the weekend.
All right. Catch you guys out there.